Good morning, dear children. Today we are going to take up the story Should Wizard Hit Mommy from the book Vistas. Now, this is written by John Updike. John Updike's full name was John Hoyer Updike. He was a prolific American writer, and he was also known as kaleidoscopically gifted American writer because he was not only a novelist but also a story writer, a poet, an art critic, and a literary critic. He is well known for the realistic depiction of an American small town middle class person, their aspirations, their wishes, their lives, their struggles, and all this has been depicted in his books. Especially he is famous for his rabbit novels. He has written a quartet of rabbit novels, that is Rabbit Runs, Rabbit Redux, Rabbit Remembered, Rabbit at Rest. So all these four novels are a beautiful description of an average American middle class person. John Updike had won Pulitzer Prize for fiction twice, or rather I must say more than once. So we are going to read the story. It is about a father and a child, in which the author has raised the issue that how the children are having a different perspective, different way of looking at the world from their parents. Now the question that is raised in this story is about whether the parents should impose their thoughts, their ideas on their children, or they should give importance to what their ideas are. So in this way, in this very interesting story, we will find that how a little girl, when she was very small, she was rather 2 years old, her father used to tell her the stories to make her sleep. And the girl used to sleep off when she used to hear the story. And after some time, she used to take a nap. She used to sleep. But this story, this activity, this storytelling of the father went on till 2 years, and the girl grew up to be 4. Now the scenario had changed. When she was 4 years old, she started questioning. She did not sleep. She took full interest in the story, and she was alert to ask questions. When she did not like a particular part of the story, she used to ask the reality. She used to ask whether it was true for them. But my dear children, you must agree with me, or I believe you will agree with me, that children, when you tell them the stories of fairies and wizards, they believe it because they are part of their dreams. They feel that wizards and fairies are real, and therefore they make them a part of their lives. Now in this story, when Jack, her father, used to tell the story, and when she had grown up, her father had seen a difference in behavior, difference in thoughts, difference in ideas. So when we read the story, we will find out how she asked questions to her parents or her father when she used to hear the story, and she never used to sleep. And this is also a story which depicts the the liabilities, the responsibilities of the parents towards their household, towards their wife, towards their other responsibilities in the house. So, on the other hand, we will also come to know that the child of 4 years age raises a moral issue, a moral question, that whether the thoughts should be imposed by their parents or should they give them a chance to express themselves. So please follow the video, and here we go. Should Wizard Hate Mommy by John Updike. So students, you can see that we are going to read this story. The title of the story itself is a big question, and this question was raised by a small girl, Jo, when her father used to tell her stories in the evenings. Now this is a moral question she had posed in front of her father, and how her father tells her the answer to this. We are going to read all that in this question, in this story. In the evenings and for Saturday naps, like today's, Jack told his daughter Jo a story out of his head. So in this story, we can see that the author has written that Jack, who was the father, had a young daughter, Jo, and he used to tell stories. For what reason? He used to tell stories in order to make her young daughter sleep. That is Saturday naps. Naps means taking a short duration sleep. And on other days in the evenings, he used to tell the story to her, to his daughter, and it was a story out of his head. Story out of his head means he used to make his own story, create his own story in his mind, and he used to tell that to his daughter. This custom begun when she was 2, was itself now nearly 2 years old. So you can very well understand that how old was the girl? Yes, she was 4-year-old now, because the author has said that when she was 2-year-old, this custom was begun, started by her father, and the custom itself now nearly 2 years old. Now the custom itself had become 2 years old, and his head felt empty, because he used to make stories always to tell her, and for the past 2 years he had been telling her stories. Now at that time, after that period, he felt that his head was empty and he had no other stories to cook and create for his daughter. Each new story was a slight variation of a basic tale. So what he used to do is that every new story was a slight variation. Variation means different of the basic tale. The basic story was the same, involving a small creature, but the whole story was created in a different way. So every story seemed to be different because the animal that he used in his story, or the animal it was about, used to differ. Otherwise, the basic story was the same. It involved a small creature usually named Roger. Roger Fish, Roger Squirrel, Roger Chipmunk had some problem and went with it to the wise old owl. So he had the same story to tell to his daughter, except the difference was that the animal was different. Sometimes it used to be Roger Fish, Roger Squirrel, and Roger Chipmunk. Chipmunk is also a squirrel kind of little animal or rodent, and you can see that the name of the animal used to be the same. And this animal had some problem, and due to which it used to go to the wise old owl. Now in the story there is an old owl who seemed to be very wise, and the owl told him to go to the wizard, and the wizard performed a magic spell that solved the problem. Demanding in payment a number of pennies greater than the number that Roger Creature had. So the wizard performed a magic spell, because as I told you just now that the meaning of wizard is that a person who is having magical powers or who has the knowledge of magic. So when the owl sent the animal to the wizard to get his problem solved, he used to demand a payment of number of pennies greater than the number that Roger Creature had. So whichever creature or whichever animal went to the wizard, and he used to find out that he had particular number of pennies, but he used to demand more than that. And at the same time, in the same breath, directing the animal to a place where the extra pennies could be found. Then Roger was so happy, he played many games with other creatures and went home to his mother just in time to hear the train whistle that brought his daddy home from Boston. So this was the story, that how the Roger Creature, or any animal for that matter, its problem was solved by the wizard, and he used to come back home to his mother and listen to the train whistle, in which his or her dad used to come back, and they used to enjoy their dinner. Jack described their supper and the story was over. Working his way through this scheme was especially fatiguing on Saturday, because Joe never fell asleep in naps anymore, and knowing this made the rite seem futile. So Jack used to describe the whole story and working his way through this scheme. This scheme means telling the story to make the girl sleep. It started becoming very fatiguing. Fatiguing means tiresome. Now he used to go on telling the story. Earlier, when the girl was just 2 years old, she used to take a nap. She used to go off to sleep. But now the girl was never asleep. She didn't sleep, and because Joe never fell asleep in naps anymore, so she never used to go off to sleep, even after listening to the story. And knowing this made the rite seem futile. Rite means custom, tradition of telling the story became futile. It was useless. The little girl, not so little anymore. This little girl, the author says, was not so little anymore. That means she had grown 2 years more from what she was earlier. The bumps her feet had made under the covers were halfway down the bed, their big double bed that they let her be in for naps and when she was sick, had at last arranged herself, and from the way her fat face deep in the pillow shone in the sunlight sifting through the drawn shades, it did not seem fantastic that some magic would occur and she would take her nap like an infant of 2. So this girl used to keep on bumping her feet on the bed, and she used to put her face deep in the pillow and listen to the story, go on listening to the story without sleeping. So she never used to sleep, and it was not some magic that would occur, as earlier Jack had felt that when he used to tell the story, she used to take a good sleep. But now there wouldn't be any magic to make that girl sleep. Jack had 2 children. One was Joe, his daughter, who was elder, and Bobby, his son, who was 2 years old. And Joe's brother, or Jack's son, had slept while listening to the story with his bottle, and Jack asked Jo, who was not ready to sleep, and she went on asking for stories. So Jack asked Jo, who shall the story be about today? Roger. Jo squeezed her eyes shut and smiled to be thinking she was thinking. So she behaved in a manner as though she was thinking. She was just a 4-year-old girl, mind you, children. See how she was. She made her face, she smiled, she shut her eyes, and then she came out with the answer, Roger, because she was used to listening to the stories of Roger named animal. Her eyes opened, her mother's blue. Her mother's blue, that means her eyes were just as blue as her mother's. Skunk, she said firmly. A new animal. They must talk about skunks at nursery school. Having a fresh hero momentarily stirred Jack to creative enthusiasm. All right, he said, once upon a time, in the deep dark woods, there was a tiny little creature by the name of Roger Skunk, and he smelled very bad. So she came out with the answer, Roger Skunk, and the skunk was a new animal. So Jack was also interested, having a fresh hero, the hero of the story, that is the new animal. And Jack was also interested because he thought that they must have taught Jo at school about skunks. So she wanted to hear the story of Roger Skunk. And so he had got the subject of his story, the skunk animal, and therefore his enthusiasm, his creative enthusiasm, creative because he used to create a story, and his creative enthusiasm was aroused and stirred. So he said, okay, all right, and he started the story. Once upon a time, in the deep dark woods, there was a tiny little creature by the name of Roger Skunk. So this was the traditional way for him to start the story, and he used to start the story in this way only. I believe you also must be remembering the stories told by your grandmas or your parents when you must have been young. They also, एक समय की बात है, एक राजा था, एक रानी थी, इस तरीके से कहानी की शुरुआत जो होती है. तो I believe they also in the same way Jack was telling story of his to his daughter about Roger Skunk, and he smelled very bad. Now skunks are animals who have a peculiar kind of smell. That smell is very bad, and it is it's a very strange smell, but it is the speciality of these animals. They identify themselves due to that. Yes, Jo said. Now skunks are the cat-like animals which are found in America, and they have white and black fur coat, that is the fur of their on their body is black and white in color, and the specialty is that when they spray a very bad smell liquid when they are threatened, when they are in danger. So this skunk smelled so bad that none of the other little woodland creatures would play with him. So this is how the story goes on, that there was a Roger Skunk, and no other woodland creatures, that is creatures, animals in the woods, in the forests, would play with him. Jo looked at him solemnly, and Jo was very serious now, because this is the psychology of a little child. You know, children have this psychology that they don't like, they get frightened, or they are very sad, you know, when nobody plays with them, because they love to play with the other kids. So she was very solemn, she became very serious when her father was telling that nobody was playing with Roger Skunk. She hadn't foreseen this. Whenever he would go out to play, Jack continued with jest, remembering certain humiliations of his own childhood. So Jack also remembered his childhood. Her father also remembered his childhood, that when he was also a kid, sometimes he had faced such kind of humiliations, and she hadn't foreseen this That is, Joe never imagined that this also could be a situation where children would not play with other children. So all of the other tiny animals would cry, "Oh ho, here comes Roger's stinky skunk." So how they used to tease. Children don't like getting teased with their other friends. So when Jack was telling that Roger's skunk was an animal who was being teased by the other animals, and they kept his name as Roger Stinky Skunk. Stink means giving out bad smell. And they would run away, and Roger Skunk would stand there all alone, and two little round tears would fall from his eyes. The corners of Joe's mouth drooped down, and her lower lip bent forward as he traced with a forefinger along the side of her nose the course of one of Roger Skunk's tears. Now this is the expression on Jack's daughter's face. When he told this, that Roger Skunk was standing all alone, and tears were falling from his eyes because no one would like to play with him, and they all ran away from there, leaving him alone. The corners of Joe's mouth drooped down. That is, it was a facial expression in which you can imagine that the mouth drooping down and her lower lip bent forward as he traced with a forefinger. He traced, Jack found, with his forefinger along the side of her nose the course of one of Roger Skunk's tears. So when she heard the story that Roger Skunk was crying, Jack could feel. He put his forefinger to touch her face, and he saw that she also was in tears, just like Roger Skunk. And you can see that when you smile, your lips go upwards, but when you cry, your lower lip bends forward and it droops down. So this is the facial expression of the little girl who was hearing to this poor Roger Skunk's story. So what is the question she asked? Won't he see the owl? She asked in a high and faintly roughened voice. So she was disturbed, and she immediately asked her father, won't he see the owl? Now why did she ask this question to Jack? Yes, because she had been hearing this story again and again and again. She had heard this story for so many times, and the story used to be the same, only the animal used to be the different one. So she immediately asked, because she had sympathy for Roger Skunk, and she asked her father whether he would go to see the owl or not. Sitting on the bed beside her, Jack felt the covers tug as her legs switched tensely. Look at the word tensely. She was in tension. She was having sympathy for Roger Skunk. She was at the same time angry and tense because the other animals stopped playing with Roger Skunk due to his bad odor, bad smell. And this was observed by Jack. He was pleased with this moment. He was telling her something true, something he must know, and had no wish to hurry on. But downstairs a chair scrapped, and he realized he must get down to help Claire paint the living room woodwork. Now in this paragraph you can see Claire is the name of Jack's wife, that is Joe's mother. So he saw that when he was telling the story, the girl was very sensible, and she was attached to the Roger Skunk in the story, as this made Jack very satisfied, and he was very happy to see that the girl was understanding the feelings of others. He had no wish to hurry on. He didn't want to complete the story in a hurried manner. But downstairs, when he heard the sound of the chair or the furniture, he realized that he must finish the story very fast, because he had to help his wife, who was painting the living room woodwork downstairs. Well, he walked along very sadly and came to a very big tree, and in the tip top of the tree was an enormous wise old owl. So now in this next paragraph is just a change that he heard. Well, he walked along very sadly. He here is Roger Skunk. So Jack continued the story, and he immediately wanted to go and help his wife. Therefore, he started telling the story in a hurried manner. Immediately, the storyline was the same thing. It was the basic story. So he told his daughter that Roger Skunk went to a big tree, a huge one, and in the tip top of the tree was an enormous wise old owl. Good. This was the response of Joe. Jack felt that Joe was listening carefully. Sometimes it happens, when you're telling the story, in the middle of the story itself, the child sleeps. But Jack realized that his daughter, who had grown up now, she was listening to the story very carefully and giving her responses too. Mr. Owl, Roger Skunk said, all the other little animals run away from me because I smell so bad. So the other animals in the previous stories, they had different problems. Now, what was the problem of Roger Skunk? Roger Skunk's problem was that all the animals used to run away from him, did not play with him because he smelled so bad. So this was the problem told by Roger Skunk to Mr. Owl. What can I do? This is very, very bad. Roger Skunk said, and he cried very hard. The owl was wise enough to realize the problem of Roger Skunk, and he really felt sad for the Roger Skunk animal. The wizard, Joe shouted and sat right up. See, now comes the next response of Joe. She knew the storyline, and therefore she immediately shouted and told her father that now Owl should send Roger Skunk to the wizard. She sat right up. Now can you understand that in this part of the paragraph, the author wants to tell that the girl who was being told a story so that she might sleep, but instead what happened, she became very alert. She sat right up, and a little golden book spilled from the bed. Now Joe, Daddy's telling the story. Do you want to tell Daddy the story? So now Jack was very angry. Father became very angry, He was telling the story because he wanted to make the girl sleep so that he could go and help his wife. But when in the middle Joe was commenting on the story, she wanted the story to be told in that manner, Daddy was very angry. And so he asked Joe, Daddy is telling the story, do you want to tell Daddy the story? No, you, me. So Joe was happy that father was telling story, and she understood that Jack was angry, and therefore she kept quiet. No, you, me. So she told her father, no, I am not telling the story, you tell the story to me. Then lie down and be sleepy. So this is the conversation, these are the dialogues between father and the daughter. So when she agreed that father has to tell the story, then Jack told her to lie down and be sleepy. So he gave the command to his daughter that she should try to sleep. Her head relapsed onto the pillow, and she said, out of your head. Well, the owl thought and thought. At last he said, why don't you go see the wizard? So when she lay down on the pillow, she said, out of your head, that is, continue the story as you used to tell as per your wish. So Daddy continued, and he said, well, the owl thought and thought. At last he said, why don't you go and see the wizard? Daddy, What? Are magic spells real? So now another question comes up. Because the mind of that 4-year girl is not on the story now. When she was 2-year old, she used to listen to the story and just sleep. She never used to put her brain into that. She never used to think about it. But now when she was grown up, she was listening to the story, but she had her own questions for her father. And so she asked, are magic spells real? So she asked her father, the wizard who used to perform the magic spells, were they real? This was a new phase. Now, the author says that it was a new phase, new starting of a new thing, that is Jo asking questions to her father. Just this last month, a reality phase. This, her father had realized that just last month onwards, this girl did not sleep after listening to the story. Rather, on the other hand, she used to ask questions on the stories. When he told her spiders eat bugs, she turned to her mother and asked, do they really? So she wanted to understand whatever was being told to her. Sometimes, it happens, students, that when we are told something, we just take it as it is. We just believe it. But this little girl, she was applying her brains onto the story, and she was trying to understand them, and she was not ready to take whatever was being told to her. She wanted to understand the basis of that. And therefore, once when Jack had told her that spiders eat bugs, she had asked her mother whether they really do. She wanted to know the reality. And when Claire told her God was in the sky and all around them, she turned to her father and insisted with a sly yet eager smile, is he really? So when mother used to tell something, she used to ask the reality of those things to her father, and when father used to say something, she used to ask her mother that whether it was a true thing or whether it was the fact. So in this way, the father, Jack, had observed that since the last month, just a month ago, there were changes in the girl. They are real in stories, Jack answered curtly. She had made him miss a beat in the narrative. The owl said, go through the dark woods, under the apple trees, into the swamp, over the creek. What is a creek? So when Jo asked her father Jack what was a creek, he told her that it was a little shallow river. Over the creek, and there will be the wizard's house. And that's the way Roger Skunk went, and pretty soon he came to a little white house. So when the wise old owl directed Roger Skunk to the wizard, who was staying in the woods over the creek, Roger Skunk immediately went there, and he wanted to get rid of his bad smell. When he came near a white house, he rapped on the door. So he knocked the door. Jack rapped on the windowsill, and under the covers, Jo's tall figure clenched in an infantile thrill. And then a tiny little old man came out with a long white beard and a pointed blue hat and said, what you want? You smell awful. So look at the ways the author has used the words, because he wanted to show that this is the accent of the magician or the wizard, with which he asked Roger Skunk what was his problem and what did he want. At that time, Jo's tall figure clenched in an infantile thrill. Jo was very happy. She was thrilled. She was happy that Roger Skunk had found the wizard's house. You smell awful. The wizard's voice was one of Jack's own favorite effects. favorite effects. That is, when Jo was being told a story by Jack, her father, Jack used to modulate his voice in order to make the sound of the particular character in the story. So he used to give his favorite effects to the voice of the wizard or to the animal, and in that way he used to make the story very interesting. He did it by scrunching up his face and somehow whining through his eyes, which felt for the interval roomy. He felt being an old man suited him. And so he used to make his faces also, and he used to close his eyes, blink his eyes, and his facial expression were there to add to the special effects to the story when he used to tell the story to his daughter. "I know it," Roger Skunk said, "and all the little animals run away from me. The enormous wise owl said you could help me." So when Roger Skunk found himself standing before the wizard, and wizard told him that he was smelling very bad, Roger Skunk said that that was his problem. He knew it, that his smell was very bad and all the little animals ran away from him. This was his basic problem, for which the wise old owl had sent him to the wizard so that he could help him. So when Roger Skunk had entered the wizard's house, he saw that it was all jumbled together in a big dusty heap. This is what Jack was describing to Jo, his daughter, that how in a very disorderly manner the wizard's house was. And there was a question there. Jo asked her father why it was in such a condition, and Jo told her that there wasn't any cleaning lady. Again there was a question, why? Now children, you can also remember this kind of thing when you tell something to small kids. They have a lot of questions because they want to explore the world. Similarly, Jo also asked her father, and Jack replied that because he was a wizard and he was a very old man. And another question cropped up in her mind, that will he die? No, wizards don't die. Well, he rummaged around and found an old stick called a magic wand and asked Roger Skunk what he wanted to smell like. So wizard was ready to help Roger Skunk, and Jack told that the wizard found a magic wand from the rummage. All the rummage means to search from all the things that were in a disordered manner in his house, scattered all over in his house, and he found a magic wand and asked Roger Skunk what he wanted to smell like. Roger thought and said, "Roses." "Yes, good," Jo said smugly. Roger thought a lot and he wasn't able to decide what smell he wanted, and finally he said that he wanted the smell of roses. When Jack told this to Jo in his story, Jo was extremely excited and she was happy about it. Jack fixed her with a trance-like gaze and chanted the wizard's elderly, irritable voice. Now, as I told you earlier also, Jack, with his body language, facial expressions, made the story very interesting for his daughter. So similarly, when he wanted to tell her that how he changed the smell of Roger Skunk, he behaved like a wizard and chanted the wizard's elderly, irritable voice himself. The magic words that the wizard had used are following in this paragraph. Abracadabra, Hocus Pooh, Roger Skunk, how do you do? Roses, Boses, full and ear, Roger Skunk, you never fear, bingo. So in this way, the wizard had used the magic wand and he had used the magic words to change the smell of Roger Skunk. Jo was very much fascinated, and Jack, her father, could see that fascinated expression widened out, spread on her, on his daughter's face, forcing her eyebrows up and her lower lip down in a wide, noiseless grin. Grin means laugh. So she started laughing when she was told that the wizard had helped Roger Skunk change his smell to roses. It was, Jack felt, that an expression in which Jack was startled to recognize his wife feigning pleasure at cocktail parties. So now here Jack was feeling that as his wife used to show or pretend to be having pleasure at cocktail parties, similarly Jo was also laughing as though she was just showing that she was very happy for Roger Skunk. And all of a sudden he whispered, the whole inside of the wizard's house was full of the smell of roses, roses. Roger Fish cried. And the wizard said, very cranky, that will be 7 pennies. So Jack, in the flow of telling the story, he just told that as soon as the Roger Skunk's smell, bad smell, had changed into the smell of roses, in the wizard's house it was all around, it was smelling of roses. Roger Fish cried. Now Jack had used the word Roger Fish there. Roger Fish cried due to happiness, over excitement, and the wizard said very cranky, and the wizard was like, in a very strict voice, he said that will be 7 pennies. And wizard demanded 7 pennies for the smell that he had changed. Daddy, what? Roger Skunk, you said Roger Fish. Yes, Skunk. You said Roger Fish. Wasn't that silly? Very silly of your stupid old daddy. Where was I? Well, you know about that pennies. So in these dialogues you can understand that how Jack was very happy and he accepted that he was stupid enough to or silly enough to say Roger Fish instead of Roger Skunk, because he had been telling story of various animals with the same name Roger, and therefore when he was in the flow of telling the story, instead of saying Roger Skunk, he said Roger Fish. But he was also happy at the same time that his daughter was very alert, and Jo had immediately corrected him and told him that you were telling the story of Roger Skunk and not Roger Fish. So from this you can understand, when the child has grown up, it tries to understand various things, it tries to explore the world, it tries to understand everything around him or her. And so Jack told, okay, that it was very stupid of your daddy for using the wrong name of the animal, but now he said, that the story goes like this, that the wizard would ask for pennies. Say it. So Jo says, come on, complete the story. Even though I know, you please complete the story. Okay, Roger Skunk said, but all I have is 4 pennies. And he began to cry. Jo made the crying face again. Now in this paragraph, or in the story itself, right from the beginning, you can see how the expression of a child changes as per the story. If she feels it is giving her pleasure with the character of the story, she feels happy, and when the main character of the story is crying, she also makes a crying face, but this time without a trace of sincerity. This annoyed Jack, Downstairs, some more furniture rumbled. Claire shouldn't move heavy things. She was 6 months pregnant. It would be their third child. Now, as I told you a few minutes ago, that this story is also depicting the responsibilities of parents towards other things also in their family or in the house. As you can see that while telling the story, he wanted Joe to sleep, whereas Joe went on asking questions and she wanted to listen to the stories more. Instead of sleeping, she was interested in the story and asking questions to Jack. On the other hand, Jack was worried about his wife Claire, and he felt that she was 6 months pregnant and she should not move heavy things. He wanted to go and help his wife, but he was helpless because Joe would not sleep. And he told that Roger Skunk started crying because he did not have 7 pennies. He had only 4. So the wizard said, "Oh, very well. Go to the end of the lane and turn around 3 times and look down the magic well, and there you will find 3 pennies." So even though the storyline is same, even though Joe had heard this story again and again, and she had been hearing this storyline, the same storyline for the past 2 years, she still wanted her dad to go on telling the same story again and again. She was not bored of that. And on the other hand, Jack was worried about his wife and about helping her around. So he went on with the story and told that how Wizard had directed Roger Skunk to the magic well where he could find 3 more pennies to pay him. Hurry up. So Roger Skunk went to the end of the lane and turned around 3 times, and there in the magic well were 3 pennies. So he took them back to the wizard and was very happy and ran out into the woods, and all the other little animals gathered around him because he smelled so good. So in this way, when Roger Skunk found the pennies and he paid it to the wizard, he came back running into the woods, into the forest where all the other animals gathered around him, and they were feeling happy because he had a good smell. They played tag, baseball, football, basketball, lacrosse, hockey, soccer, and pick up sticks. So all these are the names of the various games that they played. What's pick up sticks? Another question that comes up. Joe asked her father, "What is pick up sticks?" "It's a game you play with sticks, like the wizard's magic wand." Kind of. And they played games and laughed all afternoon, and then it began to get dark and they all ran home to their mommies. So all the other animals were very happy with Roger Skunk, and they made Roger Skunk also feel happy because they all played together and played number of games. When it became dark, they all ran back to their homes, to their mommies. So we are going to read it till here only, and rest of the story I would expect you to read the story and try to understand what the other issues are raised in the story. You will find it interesting. Complete the reading of the story, and I will be taking it up in the next video. By then, please also pay attention to the word meanings, which you will find in at the end of the video. Thank you.